Welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport.
So welcome to the 5th episode of One Race Wonders, and this time we are in the early 80s with an Argentine one race wonder. So if you like this video, please leave a comment, like and subscribe. I'd love to have you come back and check out the other content on this channel, including the playlist for One Race Wonders. Miguel Angel Guerra started his career under the guidance of Renault importer and tuner Osvaldo Antello, who helped Guerra start his career in the Argentinian Formula 4 series. After finishing runner-up in 1972 and 1973, he would then take the crown in 1974 and 75. Meanwhile, he was also racing in the Argentine Formula 2 Championship, finishing runner-up in 1974 before winning that in 1975, 76 and 77. He also moved up to the Argentinian Formula 1 Championship. Yes, Argentina had its own Formula 1 championship, most countries did. Known as the Formula 1 Mecánica Argentina, Guerra would finish runner-up in this series as well. He made his European debut at Imola in 1978 in the European Formula 3 Championship, driving a Wolf Toyota for the Scuderia Emiliani team. Despite being at a track he'd never been to before, he would have a clean race and finish in 7th, just behind eventual champion Jan Lammers. This would get him noticed by Giancarlo Minardi, who then ran the Scuderia Everest team. Miguel Guerra would race 2 weeks later in the European Formula 2 Championship in a Chevron BMW for the Chevron Everest team, teammate to Elio De Angelis. He'd finished 16th of 23 finishers, but gave a good enough account of himself to finish out the season, with a best 7th at Donington and an invitation to a Ferrari engine development summit at Maranello, where Miguel Angel Guerra had the balls to ask Enzo Ferrari himself for a Ferrari test drive. He apparently replied, "You never know," and didn't have Guerra thrown out on his arse. Racing in an improved March Ferrari for Everest in 1979, Guerra took his first podium at Hockenheim and kept scoring points throughout the year to an overall finish of 14th with 8 points. The following year, due to a deal with Piero Mancini of Motori Moderni fame, Everest built their own car for 1980, the first ever Minardi car. And with Guerra at the wheel of a reliable BMW powered car, he finished the season 9th, showing good pace and mega reliability compared to their rivals. In 1981, he was contacted by the Osella team, who Guerra had previously tested an F2 car for, and shortly before the Formula 1 season began, Guerra was signed to a race seat. Actually, so short he hadn't had time to drive the car before the season began, and Guerra failed to qualify for the first race at Long Beach, 27th of 29. Guerra again failed to qualify in Brazil, this time nearly 6 seconds off pole, and to show what a joke Osella was, their only engineer was not at the track, and team owner Enzo Osella stayed in his hotel room due to the heat. In Argentina, he barely missed out on qualifying, in fact by just 0.145 of a second, but it was Imola where our little one race wonder got his chance. Osella acquired a hydro-pneumatic suspension system to replicate ground effects and ride height control, but the Lotus 88, which was the leader in ground effects, was banned from the race, giving Osella a free pass to qualifying, and Guerra started 22nd. Just ahead of Chilean driver Eliseo Salazar, who was making his debut.
And another victim was Guerra. The pain on his face is real.
So yeah, Salazar sent Guerra into the wall at Tamburello, ending his race and severely injuring his ankles. Osella held a seat for him, but as his recovery was taking longer than expected, they replaced him with Jean-Pierre Jarier. Guerra would return to Minardi to test an F2 car, and Giancarlo Minardi repaid his loyal friend with a free drive at Misano, in which Guerra finished 13th. It was at this time that Minardi told Guerra he planned on racing in Formula 1 eventually, to which Guerra jokingly replied, You can't even afford a Bolt." Hilarious. With the poor Argentina economy followed by the Falklands War making things worse, Miguel Angel Guerra couldn't find sponsorship and headed back to Argentina. Back in the Argentina Formula 2 system, before eventually changing to touring cars, in the Argentina-based TC 2000 series, winning the championship in 1989 for Renault, He stayed in the series until 1996, winning his final race at Rosario for Peugeot.
Ahí viene Miguel Angel Guerra, Juan María Traverso detrás, compañeros de equipo, funcionó bien todo el equipo. Tercera posición para Ernesto Besone, va a ser un podio de veteranos otra vez.
Y un podio de gente con mucha experiencia, se van a enojar si no lo llamás viejito a Guerra, al flaco.
Está dicho con la mejor intención, si veteranos somos todos, hasta los que transmitimos ya. Ahí viene Miguel Ángel Guerra, nos acompaña Jorge Omar del Río en esta cabina, también con sus comentarios. Guerra ganando por primera vez en el año, la primera prueba de la temporada 96 de Turismo Competición 2000 en Rosario, un circuito que les cae muy bien a estos autos.
Recta principal, Guerra para el banderazo, va a ganar Guerra y ganó Guerra, y de segundo Juan María Traverso, tercero Tito Besone, gran triunfo de Guerra, doblete de Peugeot. Por aquellas cosas de la vida, da la casualidad que retorna Canapino al equipo de TC2000 y otra vez doblete.
He'd raced in various touring car races until his retirement in 2001. He would still be involved in touring cars as an executive and followed his son's career, Lucas Ariel, in Top Race V6. And in 2016 he met up with his old friend Giancarlo Minardi and drove his old Formula 2 car at Imola. What may have been the turning point of his career was that if he'd stayed with Minardi in Europe, he may have got a drive in Formula 1 when the team debuted a few years later. But we will never know, and so ends the long tale of Miguel Angel Guerra, the Argentine one-race wonder. Like, comment and subscribe, and most of all come back to watch more videos and have a good one.